Alright guys, I'm gonna start doing some videos to show how I do things on the Venomous site, because I know there's quite a few of you in the group that have an interest in keeping Venomous at some point down the road. Figured I'd show you how I do things. A lot of the YouTubers or other people out there that's easy to find, like Chandler's Wildlife, Viper Keeper, all of them. They have their way of doing things, and I got my way. And my way is to be as safe as humanly possible. Leave little room for error. So I figured I'd start making some videos here and there to show a little bit of day-to-day husbandry and whatnot. Vincent likes to do some live videos for his cage cleanings. I'm not brave enough to do live ones. Just in case I make a mistake. Rather not, everybody see that. I'm going to demonstrate how I go about cage cleaning with venomous snakes. So, first off, obviously, want to make sure you have any tools that you're going to need. Hooks. I keep a second hook right close to me just in case. Also have a pair of tongs close by just in case I need them. I really recommend these. These are really safe for the snake. A lot less chance of causing any injury or crushing it with these. These are great. So you want anything that you might need close by. Think well ahead. Anything can happen. Think about what could happen. Make sure you have everything nearby just in case. Now, I like using what's called a shift box or a hide trap box. It's a box specifically made. You can easily trap the animal in there. And it makes things safer for you, less stress on the animal. A lot of keepers don't use them, especially the popular guys that's on the internet, like I said. When they go to do a cage cleaning, they either spot clean with the animal, out and about, or they'll hook and tail it and put it in a container and then clean the whole thing. I think this is a better way to go about it. Now the way these boxes are is, let's see if you'll see there's a hole in the front that the animal can go into. There's a door that slides over and traps the animal in there. There's also a door on top in case I need to hook the animal up out of the box. And both of these have locks. Obviously this one stays unlocked unless you need it. And I keep a lock on the top one. Now, so if I'm wanting to do a cage cleaning, usually I do spot cleanings. Every so often I do a full cage clean, take out all the bedding, replace it, all of that. Generally though, most of the time you're going to be doing a spot cleaning, so we'll just demonstrate that for now. The very first thing we're going to do is locate the animal. The reason why this is important is depending on your cage design, how they're built. They can often get up in lips that are up here in the top. Could be behind something. You look in there, you don't see them, you go sliding the door open and it's hiding up in here or somewhere you can't see it, you're going to get tagged. So the very first thing we do is figure out exactly where the animal is at. In this case, again, I don't know how good my camera is using it, but she's right there in the door, head poking out. She's always very curious. She'll crawl to me if I wanted her to. Of course, we don't really want that. Makes things a little uncomfortable. So I know where she is. She's right there in the box, which is great. That's going to make my job easier. So now that I know where she is, we're going to unlock the cage. And then you never want to open with your hand. Should be pretty self-explanatory. never know what could happen. Always want to keep our body as far away from the bitey end as possible. So get a hook, and it's going to hook it on the door, and we slide the door open. Now, we don't need to slide it all the way. That just gives more room for her to come shooting out of if she chooses to. So we're just going to slide it enough that we can close the trap box. So I'm going to slide this open with the hook, and I'm going to use the hook to slide the door closed. Careful not to smash her nose since she's peeking out to see what I'm doing. So just slide it open just enough. Reach the hook in there. Slowly close the door. And she went back in there. Now she's trapped. Now if I wanted to, I could put a lock on this. If I was going to be taking the box out, I would do so. But if I'm just going to be leaving it in there and I'm just spot cleaning, I'm not going to bother to put a lock on it. She's not going to slide that door back open. So I'm going to slide this end back closed. And even though I know she's in the box and trapped and all that, I'm still going to open the other side with the hook. I don't believe in putting your hands in the enclosure with the animal. Even if, you know, I know she can't get out, I know she ain't going to get me. It's better safe than sorry. For whatever reason, never know, it's just better safe than sorry. So, what I would do is use I have broken spatulas that I've taped to sticks, spoons, tongs, all kinds of things you can use to scoop out wherever there might be material you need to remove. So I would take those, take them in there, scoop out what I need to, refill water. Same thing with the water. I like to use a small pump with a hose, so I can add water to the water bowl without putting my hand in there to do so. Once you've done that, you know, we're just going to slide the door back closed. And this one's a little sticky. So, we got this side nice and closed. Things are cleaned out. We got to open our door back up. Can't leave her trapped in there. Now, if I want to do a full cage cleaning, replace the bedding, everything, I'd put the lock on the front door. I'd pull the whole hide box out, or the shift box, pull it out. She's secured, don't have to worry about her. And then I can do, you know, full cage cleaning, whatever I need to do. So when you're done, we've cleaned, we closed up the opposite side. We're going to open this side back up. Again, just enough so we can get the hook in there and open the doors. And we'll slide it open. And then come over and slide the door closed. Make sure your doors are properly seated. You know, depending on your enclosure, that'll vary, but you want to make sure that it's nice and secure. Put a lock on, double check it. And always double, triple check everything. Make sure the door is completely closed, lock's good. And she's right there in the entrance, waiting to come out again. Won't be surprised if she don't come out. Now, that was convenient. She was already in there, easy to deal with. They're not always in there. Sometimes, sometimes they're not in their hide box. As you can see with this one, she's back here in the corner hanging out. So that makes things a little more complicated. Not really complicated, just not as convenient. So when you have this situation, for me it's two choices. I can either try and coerce her to go to the hide box on her own, and secure her like we did the other one, or I'm going to have to remove her from the enclosure and put her in a different secure containment. She's small. For small ones like that, these are great. A 5-gallon bucket. You can buy the lid for $1. The lid simply unscrews, screws on. It has a nice eye hook here. You can put a hook in, so that way you can place and remove it from the bucket without actually getting your hands anywhere near it. These are also nice because they have this door that locks. These are great for putting a tube in and then pass through the tube into the bucket, nice and easy. I'll do another video at some point explaining why that's convenient and nice to use. So, again, like I said earlier, want everything close by that you might need. She may not decide to go to her hide box, may need this, so we're going to have it close by just in case. Now, most snakes will generally try to retreat to a safe place. Dark hole, safe place. You know, they're going to try to retreat to that. So usually you can get by with just coercing them over into their hide box and going about your business. And we'll try that. We'll try that first. If not, we'll pull her out, put her in the bucket. She's not nearly as calm as the Eastern. She gets all defensive and she's not easygoing, we'll put it that way. So other than that, everything else is the same, and we'll go through that. Obviously, locate where the snake is first. Know she's right there. Got that. Now we can unlock the cage and go about our business. Oh, guess it would help to use the right key. It's the key to the bucket. So, the other thing that you want to watch, especially specific to rattlesnakes, when they go into a dark hole, when they go, they will immediately turn their head around as they pull the rest of their body in. So, if you're ever out field herping, see a rattlesnake shooting down a hole, don't go grabbing its tail and trying to pull it out. Chances are the head is actually done turned around and already right there at the entrance to the hole. They'll even tend to want to go into the hole backwards. They'll back their body up to it, and once they feel it, then they'll go in. But they tend to always keep their head right by that entrance in case they need to defend themselves. So it's just something to keep in mind. Again, we're always using hooks and tools, keeping our body completely away from the animal, so we really don't have to worry about that. So what we're going to do, again, opening the cage with the hook. I'm only going to open it enough that I can try and prod her towards her hide box. And like I said, she's grumpy, so... Oh, she's actually being pretty laid back. Oh, I'm going to make him promise. Oh, there it goes. So you see she wigged out, struck the hook, it's all pissed off. And she's going to run straight for her hide box. And I'm not going to, excessively give her a second to find it. See, there she goes, she's backing into it. You can bet money her head's right there. Alright, so we're going to close this side back. Open the other side. Reach in. And slide the door closed. Nice and slowly because, as you've seen when she struck the hook, no venom on the hook. She tends to leave venom on my feeding tongs all the time. You would want to close that door slowly because if you're yanking it closed and she goes to strike out of it, you're going to hurt the snake. So everything we do with venoms is slow and methodical. Keep calm, do everything slow, think about it, and you run into a lot less issues. Because things do go wrong sometimes. She could have come shooting out of the enclosure. Could have happened. Main thing is just to remain calm, deal with the situation. That's why we have all the tools we have. So she's in there, she's secure, nice and simple. I didn't have to tell the snake, I didn't have to pull it out of the enclosure, I didn't have to cause excessive stress to it. Just, spook it so it goes to a safe place. It's in there, again, hook, slide it open, use our tools to scoop out, do any spot cleaning, add water, whatever you need to do. And then hook to close. I've got to open the door back up. She's a grump. She tends to strike when the door opens, so we'll see. She's in there rattling as it is. And it's open. Slide that back closed. Make sure everything's seated properly. And replace the lock. And that's how simple, just day-to-day spot cleaning and watering of venomous snakes can be. Pretty safe, pretty low stress on the animal, and low stress on yourself as well. And that's the biggest part of what your day-to-day husbandry and stuff is going to be like. Same way with feeding, and I'll do feeding videos. Actually, it's almost time for the Eastern to feed, so maybe I'll actually do one soon of that. Right now, I only have these two animals at this location. I just got my permit, so I'll be bringing the other animals soon. The way I go about things with different species sometimes is slightly different, but not too much. The other thing with cleaning, since that's what we're on the subject of, occasionally you'll need to clean these hide or shift boxes. Usually they avoid using the bathroom in them. Sometimes you got to clean them. The two ways I go about that is, one, either take the animal out of the enclosure and put it in something like the bucket system that I showed you. The other is I actually have a divider made that slides in the enclosure. You flip it up, and it traps the snake to one side or the other. So if the animal's over here, I open this side, slide in the divider, it's trapped over here. I can take the hide box out, close it up, clean the hide box, whatever I need to do, open, place it back in, remove the divider, and everything's fine. I tend to find ways to avoid having to mess with the animal more than need be. The more you mess with them, the more chances there is for accidents. So, doesn't need done, don't do it. There's other ways. And that's pretty much it for just cage cleanings. Pretty simple, pretty safe, no big deal. Like I said, I think next video, do one on feeding. And I actually have to do a few on feeding because they feed completely different. The approach to feeding them is a lot different. The Eastern generally doesn't strike at all. She just kind of comes over and like a puppy dog and grabs it and eats it. The Western here, she's psychotic and she flies past it and hooks around and usually grabs my tongs and there's venom everywhere. And then I gotta act like the rat is dying and lay it somewhere, and then she comes out and eats it. So, but anyways, we'll do feeding videos next. Hope you guys this gave you kind of an idea of what at least part of keeping the venomous species is like, and a different way to do it compared to what you may have seen a lot on the internet.